Okay, so I know things haven't exactly gone as planned for the Washington Redskins, to put it mildly. In fact, it's been kind of a mess. Pretty much everything has gone wrong, and it's also been kind of a rough season for Dwayne Haskins, their first round draft pick. His stats are, quite frankly, just pretty bad. I mean, 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions and just 6.1 yards per attempt, a completion percentage of just over 50%. It's at 54.6. And I could go into some more advanced statistics, but the reality is I don't have to. The stats aren't great. His tape hasn't really been that great. He's missed a lot of throws. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, what do I like to do with these videos? I don't like to just focus on negatives. I like to find the positives. And you know what? There was a big positive that happened at the end of that Detroit Lions game. He had not played well that entire game. I'm not going to argue the contrary. He missed some throws that he should have made, which is interesting because accuracy really hasn't been a huge problem for him right when he started, but this game it was a massive problem. I think that he's maybe in his own head a little bit. He definitely doesn't look comfortable out there. The game's definitely moving very fast for him, but he definitely missed some throws earlier on. However, his last 2 drives, he really played pretty well. Like at first, it was just some small things, like a play like this. We're at a situation where there's 5.5 minutes left. Washington's down 3, so they need to at least get a field goal here. And what they're going to do is run play action, and that's going to be the route that Haskins wants to throw to here. If everything works out perfectly for Haskins, that's where he's going to look to throw the ball to. And as you see, after he fakes the handoff, he does look in that direction. However, he just doesn't like what he sees. Again, we can't really tell from this angle. We don't have the all 22 footage until tomorrow, but he doesn't like what he sees, and that's not really important to see exactly what it was, because he realizes he doesn't want to make a throw in that direction, and so he's going to quickly figure out what else he should look at. And there's a couple of interesting things here, but maybe the most fascinating is just the fact that Adrian Peterson is wide open. And the reason he's wide open is because the Detroit Lions are playing a very soft zone here. They're basically trying to make sure Haskins doesn't beat them deep because, it is true that it seems like once or twice every game he just makes an unbelievable deep pass. He'll struggle for most of the game, but then make a couple plays that are impressive. So for Dwayne Haskins, they're making sure they don't get beat deep, but that's going to be a mistake here because Haskins can just take the dump off to Adrian Peterson, and he does the rest of the work. Not a game-changing play by Haskins, but, most football plays aren't. You have to just do your job. He realized that the first route he wanted to throw to was not going to be open, so he found something else that was open. It was just kind of a lottery situation, but he found the lottery ticket and was able to hit Peterson and pick up those yards. So then later on in the drive, now they're at the 44-yard line, and the way it's going to work is that now they're going up against the cover one hole concept, and that's an okay situation for Washington because they do have a receiver running right there. It will kind of get open, but again, Haskins will have to thread a needle a little bit. He'll have to make the throw over a linebacker, but make sure he throws it so that it's not too far, because then it could get intercepted by the safety who is deep. And of course, not to mention the fact that the receiver has to just win his one-on-one matchup. So there's a lot of ifs that are going on right here. This will not be an easy play by any means, but it is a route that Haskins can look to throw to. And after the ball is snapped, one thing you will notice is that a Detroit Lion does creep in quite a bit. He's definitely playing pretty far in, which is now going to open up that window a little bit. So what was going to be kind of a mailbox throw is now not quite a wide open throw, but there's a little bit more leeway here where Haskins doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And also, let's give a shout out to the Washington tackles right there. I mean, make the job easier on your young quarterback. That's what you're supposed to do. Give him all the space he needs to step wherever he wants to and make this throw. Give them some credit here. Football's a team sport. Everyone has to come through, and the Washington tackle's coming through in a big way there. But then for Haskins, he's able to do his part. He's able to make a very strong throw, and they're able to get yet another first down. I mean, that's a good throw right there. You can't really ask for anything better than that. So, again, good play there by Haskins. It didn't work out too well earlier on in the game, but at this point, that was a good throw. So then later on, now it's a 3rd down and 4 situation, and this one actually is not going to be complete, but it was so close to being complete. What was going to happen is that the Lions are in a buzz concept. Since it's 3rd down and 4, they want to make sure they don't give up the 4 yards. So what you see on the screen is the buzz concept. It's man coverage, but then they will have 2 players who are it's almost like a cover 2 man, but instead of having 2 safeties who are deep, you're going to have 2 defensive players who are kind of in the middle of the field, just taking away anything that's going to be medium. Meaning for Haskins, this actually can be an okay time to go deep here. He has a receiver running that route. It's going to be a 1-on-1 matchup deep. So you can take this shot, and Haskins is going to take this shot, especially because, look, I mean, there's an opening. The Redskins receiving group has gotten a lot of criticism for kind of struggling at getting open, but you know what? There's a receiver open right here. But Haskins just misses that throw. He's about maybe a foot off. I mean, he was very close, but he just missed it. Honestly, for Haskins, you would rather see him just put a little bit more air under it, which would give the receiver time to adjust, if nothing else, because even if you underthrow it a little bit, it's probably going to be okay. You got to trust your receiver more than a defensive back who has his back turned, because it's really tough to turn around once you have your back turned. But at the same time, I do understand from Haskins' perspective, you don't want to throw a pick there. You need to get the field goal or you lose, so I do understand it. It didn't quite work out, but it was so close, and I feel like that would have been such an awesome way for him to cap off that very frustrating day through about 55 minutes to cap off a drive with a touchdown. But at the end of the day, it's all still going to work out fine because Driscoll ended up throwing an interception, so now the Redskins would get the ball back when this play would happen. Detroit is going to be in a cover 3 man here, which is basically just prevent defense, which in my opinion is kind of just an insane thing to do. I mean, Washington just needs 15 yards to try a long field goal, so why are you playing prevent defense in this situation? Let's make sure that we don't give up the 15 yards, because now Washington can just try to chip away here. Yes, there's only 43 seconds left, but they have all 3 timeouts. So this is plenty of time to get in field goal range. So I don't really know about this play call from Detroit. It's only a 3-man rush, obviously, because with cover 3 man, you need 5 guys playing man and 3 people playing deep. That only leaves 3 other defenders. In fact, I think I have to make a video just solely on the Detroit Lions' questionable decision-making, because they had quite a few of those, so I think I'll make one of those later on in the week once the All-22 footage comes out. Because, yeah, that was a little bit head-scratching, but at the same time, you got to give Washington credit for taking advantage, and that's what Haskins is going to do here. As you see, a Detroit edge rusher is actually doing a pretty good job of creating pressure right now, but the problem is it's just a 3-man rush, so for Haskins, he can easily just step up in the pocket. He's going to step up in the pocket, and since it's man, he can just simply run, and he gains about 10 yards, and doesn't even slide. He goes forward, you know how badly he wanted to get a win under his belt. He was definitely very amped up to do that, but really the Lions kind of just gave him some yards right there, so Haskins just took it. It was definitely a very athletic play from Haskins, but at the same time, like, the Detroit Lions do need to be smarter than that. So I'm trying to be fair. Haskins does deserve credit. I'm not trying to take anything away from Haskins, but also, I mean, Lions, come on, get it together. And Detroit would also have a 3-man rush on this one as well. It's going to be man coverage with 3 players playing in zone, and then only 3 men rushing the passer. And for Haskins, he has a receiver running that route right there, which, as you can see, there is going to be a window, but it's going to be tough as well. Very similar to the play I showed you earlier, but this time there are 2 Lions in the middle of the field. However, one interesting thing you're going to see is you're actually going to see something insane happen right here by left guard Eric Flowers. Watch how he, looking for somebody to hit, is going to kind of run backwards into Haskins, which is just a terrible thing. You don't want to be anywhere near the quarterback. Your whole job is to keep people away from the quarterback. It was just kind of an unfortunate mental error, but it's happening at the worst possible time, because now Haskins on 3rd down is going to have to avoid his own offensive lineman and make a throw downfield to try to hit his assigned man. But that's going to be exactly what he does. He evades the pressure from his left guard and makes a great throw to get the ball inside field goal range. It already might have been in field goal range. It would have been a long field goal, though. That would have been 55 yards, which is tough. Plus, if he misses it, then maybe the Lions can make a play for 20 yards and then get a field goal of their own. So that play was definitely huge, and Haskins came through in a big way. Listen, I get it. People are going to say, yeah, sure, whatever. Haskins had a couple big plays late, but the reality is he sucked for most of the game. And you know what? I won't disagree. He had probably his worst game in the NFL so far. He did not play well whatsoever. He missed a ton of throws. And, I mean, that's definitely frustrating because he was someone that I thought was going to be the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I had him evaluated at number 1. And that's not looking like a great evaluation at this point. It really isn't. But at the same time, all you can do at this point is simply just say, okay, the reality is we have Dwayne Haskins. Let's try to get him to be a better player. And let's just go with some baby steps right now. Yes, he didn't play great through a large part of this game. It just has to be said. But at the same time, it did look like a lot of the reasons why he wasn't playing great were just mental things, and he looked flustered more than anything. This guy can be an accurate passer. We've seen it just in the last couple of drives. We've also seen him do things like that back in college. So we know he can be an accurate passer. he just, for whatever reason, has struggled once he gets to the NFL. And also, yes, a lot of the numbers are bad, but I do think the numbers they look worse because the Redskins do have such a lack of receiving talent. But at the end of the day, there is a long list of rookie quarterbacks who had terrible rookie seasons and went on to do great things. And there's a pretty long list of guys who had really good first rookie seasons and then didn't really ever get any better than that. Of course, there's also a long list of guys who sucked their rookie season and then continued sucking, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But I do think that if I'm a fan of Dwayne Haskins, I am feeling more optimistic this week than I was last week. That's just my opinion.